Hello students, welcome back to this video session of Pharmaceutical Organic Chemistry 1. In today's video session we will be discussing the IUPAC rules for nomenclature of alcohols, phenols and thiols. In the previous video we have discussed the IUPAC rules for alkanes, alkenes, alkynes and alkenines. The link for those videos is given in the description box. For proceeding the IUPAC rules for alcohols, phenols and thiols, it is necessary that you should watch those videos and then it is easy to understand this video. So let's get started. So here the heteroatom functional groups are important in not only pharmaceuticals but in the organic chemistry. We have seen in case of alkenes and alkynes there is a presence of double and triple bond respectively. So in case of alkenes where there is a suffix E and E, that has a double bond. In case of alkynes it has a triple bond, and these are often the position at which the chemical reaction will take place. So we have seen whether it is addition reaction, elimination reaction, then rearrangement reaction and so on. So these are the preferred site where the chemical reaction will take place. Now if I compare the overall organic compounds and its chemical reactivity with respect to the alkenes and alkynes, majority of the functional groups which are found in the organic compounds, they involve carbon bonded to various heteroatoms. Now what are heteroatoms? I have already discussed this in the first part of our POC 1, that is classification of organic compounds. We have seen an example of homocyclic compounds, heterocyclic compounds, okay, and the compounds which has the heteroatom. So heteroatom is nothing but it is the atom which is like nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur and so on. They are different than the carbon and hydrogen. So there is a broad variety of chemical reaction that can occur at the carbon or the carbon which is connected to the heteroatom, or it can occur even at the heteroatom, and that's why these compounds are again important in the pharmaceuticals. There are varieties of heterocycles and they have a diverse biological action which we are using as a medicine in the pharmaceuticals. So there is a need to understand how we can nomenclate these compounds which possess the various heteroatoms as a functional group in the structures. So today we will be discussing the alcohols. So alcohols are quite popular in our routine life. There are many substances which has the alcoholic content. For example, there are food beverages, there are hot beverages like hot drinks, there are some alcoholic beverages, then we have some pharmaceuticals like tinctures, then some elixirs where we have the alcoholic content in the formulation, and there are certain cosmetics preparation also which has the content of alcohol. So alcohol is an important topic to be studied. The functional portion of an alcohol is a hydroxy group connected to an alkyl group. So here the functional group is OH, which is referred as the hydroxyl group or hydroxy group. An alcohol may be thought as a derivative of water. Why it is thought to be a derivative of water? Because we know in case of water the formula is H2O. There are two hydrogens connected to the oxygen. Now if one of the hydrogen I am replacing with that of the carbon, so here it will form an alcohol. So you can see here the valency of the carbon is 4, so 4 bonds are there and then it is connected to oxygen and hydrogen. So this is a hydroxyl group or hydroxy group, and that's make the alcohol as the derivative of water. Alcohol are represented by the general formula ROH, where this R indicates an alkyl group, okay. So usually the alcohols are the saturated compounds, okay, where the R group is an alkyl group to which the hydroxyl group is connected. So we can have a common name for the alcohol in which we use a combination of alkyl and alcohol as a separate word. For example, we can take an simple alcohol. Okay, so this is an simplest alcohol which you can quote here. So this is a methanol. So the common name of this alcohol is methanol. You know, this is a CH3 and this is a OH. So this is a hydroxyl group. This will be considered as R and this will be the hydroxy group. So here this is referred as a methanol, which is a very popularly used solvent in the pharmaceuticals. We can also refer this as methyl alcohol. We can also refer this as methyl alcohol. Okay, then we have another example, that is the ethyl alcohol. This is also referred as the ethanol. Okay, so this is again an important solvent in pharmaceuticals and synthesizing many drugs. It is also referred as the ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol. Okay, so ethyl alcohol and methyl alcohol, they are the simplest alcohol which we can quote about the alcohols. Okay, so methanol is an example of low molecular weight alcohol. Then we have another example of alcohol, that is the 2-propanol. So this is an example of 2-propanol. The common name of this 2-propanol is isopropyl alcohol. Okay, it is a isopropyl alcohol. This is also referred as the rubbing alcohol. Nowadays we are taking vaccine, and before inserting the needle or the injection, usually we have a cotton in which there is a IPA which is rubbed on the skin. So it is acting as an antiseptic, and this is referred as the rubbing alcohol. Okay, so these are the example of simplest alcohol which we can quote here. Now there is a subclassification of alcohols. We can classify the alcohols into 3 classes, and that is based on the number of carbon atoms which are attached to the hydroxy bearing carbon. So here you can see in 1-propanol. Okay, so this is called as 1-propanol. So how you have to classify? You have to see the carbon which is directly linked with the hydroxy group. Okay, so this is the carbon which is directly linked to the hydroxy group. Now we have to see this carbon which is directly linked to the hydroxy group is connected to how many carbons. Now you can see this carbon is connected to this carbon. So there is only one carbon which is connected in this particular 1-propanol, and that's why this is referred as the primary alcohol. This is referred as primary alcohol. Then we can have another example, that is the 2-propanol, that is the isopropyl alcohol. Now you can see this is the carbon which is directly connected to the hydroxy group, and this carbon is now connected to how many carbon atoms? 2 carbon atoms, and that's why we can consider this as a secondary alcohol. Then the last class of this alcohol is the tertiary alcohol. Now here you can see this is the carbon which is connected to the hydroxy group, and this carbon is connected to how many carbon atoms? 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so don't get confused. I am not writing the numbering of the parent chain. I am just indicating the number of carbon atoms which are connected to the carbon which is directly linked with the hydroxy group. So here this carbon is connected to the 3 carbon atoms, and hence this is referred as the tertiary alcohol. Okay, so we can use here as a primary alcohol. This we can use, I can write here as a secondary alcohol. This we can write it as tertiary alcohol. Okay, like that we can classify the alcohols into primary, secondary and tertiary. Now we will see the IUPAC rules for nomenclature of alcohols. So the rule number 1 is we have to select the longest continuous chain to which hydroxy group is connected. Okay, so this is similar or in line with that of the alkene and alkynes. So where we have selected the longest chain which is containing the double or triple bond. So here the functional group is hydroxy group or hydroxyl group. So we have to select the longest chain which will contain the hydroxy group. Then rule number 2 is we have to name the longest chain. This will be considered as a parent chain, and then we have to add the suffix. Okay, so suffix here for alcohols will be OL. Okay, so this is the suffix which we have to use it for these structures, and we have to drop the ending letter, that is E. Okay, so if it is butane, E will be dropped like this. If it is a butane, so this E will be dropped and it will be butanol. OL will be suffixed here. Okay, alright. Then rule number 3, number the parent chain from one end of carbon and those number and choose the numbering so as carbon connected to OH group will get the lowest possible number. Okay, so this is again very important. So this rule says that we have to give the numbering to the parent chain from the one end of the carbon atom in such a way that the carbon connected to the OH should get the least number or the lowest possible number. Then rule number 4 is if more than one OH group are present in the structure, then we refer this as diols, triols and the polyols if multiple hydroxyl groups are present. Okay, like in case of polyenes, trienes, dienes we have referred in alkene, exactly the same way we can refer here as polyols, diols, triols, etc. Now by applying these rules we will try to nomenclate these simple structures. Now first what we need to do, we need to select the longest continuous chain containing the hydroxyl group. Okay, so here the longest continuous chain will be this one. So this is the longest continuous chain. Now we can give the numbering here. So how we can number? If I am numbering from right to left, this carbon containing the hydroxyl group will not get the lowest possible number. So I have to go from left to right. So this will be 1, this will be 2, 3, 4 and 5. So 5 means it is a pentane. Okay, I will write here, it will be a pentane. So E we should drop and we have to suffix as all. So it will be a pentanol. Okay, so it will be a pentanol. OL we have suffixed here. Okay, and then we have to indicate at what carbon the hydroxyl group is attached. So in this case the hydroxy group is attached at carbon 2. So the correct name of this simple structure will be 2-pentanol. Alright, so this is how we can write the name for this structure. Then there is a cyclic structure here, and here again the numbering will start at the carbon where there is a hydroxy group. So this will be carbon 1, and then we have to proceed the numbering in such a way that the substituent should get the lowest possible number. So if you are going in this direction, it will be 2, 3 and 4. So the substituent is getting number 4. But if you go in a other direction, okay, if you go in a clockwise way, the substituent will be at carbon 3. So this is the lowest number. So we can write the name of this compound. First we have to write the substituent as we have seen in alkane, alkyne and alkenes. So it will be a 3-methyl, and then we have to write the parent chain. So here parent chain is a cyclopentane. Okay, so I will write cyclopentane. Okay, and then E should not be written, so E we have to drop, and then it will be all should be suffixed instead of the ending letter E. So the correct name of this particular structure will be 3-methyl cyclopentanol. You can also specify the name of the hydroxyl group here. We can also write 3-methyl cyclopentane 1-all. Like that also you can write, but this will be preferred. Okay. Alright. Then rule number 5. The IUPAC retains the final E of your parent chain or parent hydrocarbon, because sometimes the suffix diol, if it contains 2 hydroxy group, in this case there are 2 hydroxy group present in the structure, and that will not match with the vowel. Okay. Now here if I want to number, so how we can number? We can give number 1 to this carbon and 2 to this carbon, or you can do it in a reverse way also. So here there are 2 hydroxyl group, so we can use the prefix as di. So in this case the name of this compound will be 1, 2, and this is ethane because there are 2 carbon chain, so it will be capital E, then I will write ethane. Okay. And then we have to indicate the 2 hydroxyl group, so it will be a diol. Now remember, in this case we have not dropped the letter E of the parent chain, because if you drop the letter E of the parent chain, then it will not sound good. Okay. So the vowel will not be appropriate, and hence in such case we have to retain the E of the parent chain. So the correct name of this structure will be 1,2-ethane diol. Then rule number 6. When compounds contain more than 1 functional group, priority order should be considered. Okay. So there is a priority order for the functional groups which could be present in the compound. So when you find the compound contains multiple functional groups, then in that case you have to follow the priority order. For example, in this particular structure you can see there are 2 functionalities. Which 2 functionalities it has? It has the double bond as one of the functionality. Here there is a double bond and there is a hydroxy group. So 2 functionalities are present, and here the priority order is given to the alcohol. So alcohol takes priority over the alkenes. Now in this case, if you have to select the longest chain, so there is no branching, so obviously this is a longest chain. Okay, this is a longest chain. So if I am giving the numbering, let's say if I am giving the numbering in this way, so what will happen? You have given the priority to the double bond, that is alkene. So that is not correct, because as per the priority order, alcohol are prioritized over the alkenes. So in this example we have to give the numbering to the carbon which is bearing the hydroxy group. So hydroxy group is getting priority over the alkene. So alkene will get the next priority after the alcohol. So this is the correct order of numbering, going from right to left, giving priority to the alcoholic functionality and then to the alkene. So we can write the name of this structure. So here we have to indicate the position of the double bond. So the double bond is starting at carbon 2 and this is 3 carbons, so it is a propane. So we can write 2-propene because of the double bond. Okay, E and E will be suffixed, and then we have to locate the position of the functionality of the hydroxyl group. So it is at carbon 1, so it will be 1- and OL will be suffixed to indicate the hydroxyl group. So here you need not to mention again as a propanol, because already you have indicated the parent chain. Okay, so here parent chain is already indicated, so you need not to mention that. So here the correct name of this compound will be 2-propene-1-all, that is the IUPAC name. Next rule, that is rule number 6, is again the similar thing. that is alcohol takes the priority over alkene. So it is same rule, only we are discussing one more example to understand in a better way. So here you can see there is a branching. Okay, so this you can consider it as a functional group. Okay, and then you have to select the parent chain. So you can select the parent chain here. How you will select the parent chain? You can see I can select the parent chain in this way. Okay, so this is my parent chain, and then you can give the numbering. Now here again two functionalities, one is the alkene and other functionality is the hydroxy group. So who will take the priority? Obviously the alcohol will take the priority, and you have to give the numbering in such a way that the carbon containing an alcoholic group should get the lowest possible number. So if I am going in this direction, so if I am starting with this carbon, so it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it will be getting number 5. So rather if I go from left to right, now you can see the numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So in this case the substituent, that is alcoholic functionality, is at carbon 3. So that is the correct way. Okay, so if you are numbering in this way, that is the correct order of numbering, and then this substituent will be getting at number 4. So let it be, because we have to give priority to the hydroxy group. Now we can try to write the name of this compound. So students, you can pause this video and you can try to answer this and verify your answer by playing this video again. So let's try how we can write the name. So at carbon 2 we have a substituent, so I will write as 2-methyl, and then there is another substituent at carbon 4. So if you remember the earlier videos, I have already told you what should be the name of this particular substituent. So this is referred as vinyl. Okay, it is referred as vinyl. So this is vinyl. So it is of 2-methyl-4-vinyl. Then what is remaining? You have to now indicate the parent chain. It is heptane, and then at carbon 3 it has the hydroxy group. So we have to indicate the position of the hydroxy group. It is at carbon 3 and the parent chain is a heptane, and we have to prefix as all. So we have to drop the letter E and then we have to prefix all. So this will be the correct name for this structure: 2-methyl-4-vinyl 3-heptanol. Next, again the same rule. Now here the priority order is different. In the earlier two examples, the priority order was in between alkene and hydroxy group. Now here I have attached the functionality, that is the carboxylic acid, which takes priority over the hydroxy group. So here in this case we have to give the priority order while numbering the carbon chain to the carboxylic acid. So carboxylic acid, which is connected to this carbon, will get the priority order in the numbering, and the numbering will be done in a clockwise way in this particular example. If you go in anti-clockwise way, the hydroxyl group will get a higher number. So we have to number in such a way that the other substituent should get the lowest possible number. So here we can write the name of this compound, that is at carbon 3 there is a hydroxy group. So we can write 3-hydroxy, and benzene connected with the carboxylic acid, it is referred as the benzoic acid. Okay, it is acid functionality. So the correct name of this structure will be 3-hydroxy benzoic acid. Now we will solve some of the examples. Okay, so I have given the structure and you are supposed to write the IUPAC name. So again you can pause your video and try to solve these practice set. So So here you have to give the numbering. So how you will give the numbering here? Obviously I have to start the numbering to the carbon where there is a hydroxyl group. Okay, so here the longest chain I can select, it may be this, or you can go down and this methyl you can consider it as a substituent. Okay, so in this way this will be number 1, this will be number 2, this will be 3, and this will be number 4. Okay, so at carbon 3 we have the substituent. At carbon 3 we have the substituent. So how we can write? We can write the position of this substituent and name of the substituent, 3-methyl, 3-methyl, and then we can locate the position of the hydroxy group, or even if you don't mention then also it is alright. Okay, so let's say if I am mentioning here, so it will be 1 and it is a butane, so it will be butanol. E will be dropped and OL will be suffixed. So the name of this structure will be 3-methyl 1-butanol. Then look at this structure. Again there are two functionalities, one is a OH functionality and other one is a alkene functionality. So who will take the priority order? Obviously the hydroxy group will take the priority order. So obviously this carbon will be numbered as 1. Then if I am going in anti-clockwise way, the alkene functionality will get the higher number. So rather than going in anti-clockwise way, we should go in a clockwise way. So this will be 2 and this will be 3. Okay, so now we can write the name of this compound. So it will be 2. First we have to indicate the alkene. Okay, so it is a cyclohexane, and because of the double bond it will be cyclohexene. So we can write 2-cyclohexene, and then we can put the dash, and then we can write 1-all. Okay, so this will be the name of this structure, 2-cyclohexene 1-all. Next structure. So here you should easily recall the rule, and this is referred as a diol because there are 2 hydroxyl group. Then you can number either in this direction or you can also go in this direction. Let's say I am going in the reverse direction. I have numbered the carbon atoms in this way. So 1, 2 and 3. So we have to prefix the locants of these functionalities. So at carbon 1 and carbon 3 we have the substituent. So it will be 1, 3, and then this is a propane. Okay, so it is a propane, and then it will be a diol. Okay, now again you should not do the mistake here. You should not drop the letter E, because in case of diols we have to keep this E because the vowels will not be appropriate. So the correct name of this structure will be 1,3-propane diol. Okay, next compound, you can see there is a triple bond, that is one functionality, and there is a hydroxy group, that is the another functionality. So again in this case, how you will choose the parent chain? Obviously the parent chain will be like this. So this is the parent chain, and then you can give the numbering. Okay, so we can number the parent chain. This will be carbon 1, this will be carbon 2, this will be carbon 3, 4, 5 and 6. So it is a hexane, it is a hexane, and then we can write the name of this structure. So at carbon 3 we have a methyl, so it will be 3-methyl. Then we have to indicate the alkyne, so it will be at 5 carbon, the triple bond is starting, so 5 dash, it is a hexene. E and E will come because, sorry, here E and E will not come. What will come? Y and E will come, correct? So it will be hexyne, and then it will be the location of the hydroxyl group. So it will be 2-ol. So 3-methyl-5-hexyne 2-ol is the correct name. Then can you name this particular structure? So here there is a methyl and then there is a OH group. Okay, so this you can consider it as a ethanol, CH3, then CH2 and OH. So this is a substituent, we can refer it as a ethanol. And if you remember the earlier videos, we have clearly mentioned whenever there is a aromatic ring and one of the hydrogen is substituted by any substituent or the group, then instead of considering it as a benzyl, we have to write it as phenyl. Okay, so here obviously the point of attachment to the aromatic ring will be numbered as 1, and then I can write the name of this structure as 1-phenyl ethanol, 1-phenyl ethanol. Okay, now this is the next structure. So you can try this, you can try to write the name of this structure and put your answer in the comment box. Now next, that is when the IUPAC name is given and you are supposed to draw the structure. So this is quite easy. You have to see the parent chain. It is a pentane, so that means there will be 5 carbon atoms. So you can draw the carbon skeleton of 5. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And then you can see it is a cyclopentanol. Okay, so this is not a straight chain, it is in a cyclic structure. So you can write this cyclopentane. So this is a cyclopentane and it is all, that means there is a OH group or OH functionality. So this will be the correct structure and this is not in a straight chain. Cyclo represents the structure is present in a cyclic form. Next structure you can try, that is 1-2-propane diol. So this is commonly referred as a propylene glycol, which is a very important compound in pharmaceuticals. So how you can draw the structure of propylene glycol? Propylene, that means E, that means there is a double bond. Okay, or here you can refer propane diol. So here you can see propane means there are 3 carbons and it is a diol. So you can number here 1, 2 and 3. So this is indicating at what position the hydroxy group is attached. So it is attached at 1 and 2. Okay, so diol is over, propane 3 carbons are already drawn, then you have to complete the valency of the carbon. So you can attach 4 atoms to the carbon, this will be CH2. So this will be the correct structure for 1,2-propane diol. Okay, it is commonly named as propylene glycol. Then next, that is 1,2,3-propane triol. So triol means easily you can make out there will be 3 hydroxyl group and this is popularly referred as the glycerol. So it is again a propane and it is not in a cyclic form, so I will draw 3 carbon and then I will number it as 1, 2 and 3, and then at carbon 1 there is a 1 hydroxy, at carbon 2 there is another hydroxy, and at carbon 3 there is 1 more hydroxy. Now you can see the triol is completed, propane is also drawn. Now the final stage is you have to add the hydrogens. So this will be CH2, this will be H, and this will be again CH2. So this will be the correct structure for the glycerol or 1,2,3-propane triol. Then little complex example here. So it is 2 isopropyl, 5 methyl cyclohexane, 1 ol. So if you are able to draw this structure, then it indicates you have understood these rules properly. So how you can draw? You can pause and you can try, and then you can verify your answer. So it is parent chain is a cyclohexane. So it is a cyclic structure. So I can draw the cyclic structure, 6-membered cyclic ring. It is a cyclohexane, and at one position it has the ol, that means it has the hydroxy group. Now you can attach anywhere this hydroxy group. Let's say I have attached here, so this will be number 1. Then what are the other substituent? At carbon 2 we have isopropyl, and at carbon 5 we have the methyl. So here if I am indicating at 2 we have to attach isopropyl. Now let's say I am numbering in a clockwise way, and at carbon 2 now I should attach the isopropyl. So you know what is isopropyl. So this will be the isopropyl group, CH3, CH3, and this will be carbon and H. Okay, so at carbon 2 now we have the isopropyl. Now we should continue the numbering. At 5 carbon we have a methyl. Okay, so now we can attach methyl. So this is the structure which we have drawn very easily by using these rules. Okay, now next category is the phenols. Okay, so when hydroxy group is connected to a carbon atom of benzene ring, we refer it as a phenol. Okay, these phenols are often considered separately from alcohols due to difference in the chemical properties than that of the alcohols. Alcohols have a very distinct property, very characteristic property than that of the phenols. Phenols, they have a very characteristic smell. They have usually they are present in a liquid form. Some phenols are also in a solid state, but they are totally different in the properties as that of the phenols, and as that of the alcohols, and hence the phenols are separately classified. They are not merged with the alcohols. Okay, so here you can see some of the common phenols. The benzene ring has the hydroxyl group, so this we refer it as a phenol, and this can also be named as a hydroxybenzene. It is a derivative of the benzene. Here you can see at adjacent position of this benzene carbon there are 2 hydroxy group. So you can refer this as 1,2 dihydroxy. I can write the numbering here, or you can go in a reverse way. Both are correct. 1,2 dihydroxy benzene, and this is commonly referred as the catechol. Okay, then another structure where the hydroxy group is meta to each other. In this case it is ortho to each other. If you remember this particular nomenclature system, ortho, and this is a meta. Okay, so these are meta to each other. That means they are present at carbon 1 and 3. So it is 1,3 dihydroxybenzene, which is again commonly named as the resorcinol. So this resorcinol is again very important substrate or the starting material, even the catechol, for many pharmaceutically active ingredients. Then some more examples of the phenols. Now here you can see this hydroxyl and this hydroxyl group, they are para to each other. They are para to each other. That means they are present at position 1 and 4. So I can also refer it as 1,4 dihydroxybenzene. 1,4 dihydroxybenzene, and hydroxy groups are para to each other. So this is referred as the hydroquinone. This is referred as hydroquinone. Now next is, you can see there is a hydroxy group and there is a methyl group. So here the hydroxy group will get a priority, so it will be 1, 2 and 3. So it will be 1 hydroxy based on the alphabetical order, and at carbon 3 we have a methyl, so it will be 1 hydroxy 3-methyl benzene. So this is commonly referred as the metacresol. So these are the compounds which you will be using in a qualitative analysis in the practicals, and you have to identify these compounds: metacresol, paracresol, and so on. So here you can see this is referred as a paracresol because hydroxy group is present para to the methyl, or vice versa. So here at 1 we have the hydroxy, and at 4 we have a methyl. So you can also name it as 1 hydroxy 4-methyl benzene, which is popularly referred as the paracresol. This is metacresol, and this is the hydroquinone. So this is all about the phenols. And then the last class, that is the thiols. So as the name indicates, it has the THI, that means it contains the sulfur as a heteroatom. Okay, so here sulfur analogues of alcohols, we refer it as a thiols. Okay, thiols are also known as the mercaptans. So mercaptan is a synonym for the thiols. They are named by adding the suffix as thiol, or some cases you can also use a suffix as a mercaptan. So here you can see the simplest thiol, where the structure is CH3 and SH. So this is methane thiol. So thiol is suffixed and methyl group is attached to this SH. So it will be methane thiol, and you can also name it as methyl mercaptan. Similarly, you can write it as ethyl mercaptan or ethane thiol. Okay, so this is about the thiol. Now we will see few examples of this thiol category. Now here you can see again the functionality is the thiol. So the carbon connected to the thiol will get the lowest possible number. So this will be 1, then it will be 2, 3, and this you can write it as 4, or here also you can write it. So this is a methyl. Okay, so you can name this as 3-methyl, 3-methyl, and then it is a butane, so it will be butane thiol. Okay, butane thiol, or you can also specify the position of the thiol as 3-methyl butane 1 thiol. That is also fine. Then you can see the another structure. Again the numbering will be 1, 2, and 3. So it has two functionalities, alkene and thiol. So here also thiol will get a priority over the alkene functionality. So it will be like 3, sorry, it is not 3, it is at carbon 2. So it will be 2, and it is a propene 2-propene 1. At carbon 1 we have a thiol. Okay, so the correct name of this structure will be 2-propene 1 thiol. So this is the compound which usually we find it in a garlic. Then the name is given and you are supposed to draw the structure: propane 1 thiol. So again propane means you can draw 3 carbons and then you can attach the thiol. So let's say if I am numbering in this way, so there will be a SH thiol group, and then you can complete the valency of the carbon. So this will be CH2, this will be CH2. So this is the structure of propane 1 thiol. So this is again a commonly found chemical in the onion. Okay, so hope you have understood these rules for nomenclature of alcohols, phenols and thiols. Thank you for watching this video.